and pen tool review. The pen tool is going to be a little bit more involved than we've done in the past, but these lines and shapes should be fairly simple. There's just a couple extra things that you can do to practice your skills. We're going to use the zoom tool to zoom in, and then I'm going to use my space bar to navigate and drag across. And then I'm going to just start following the directions and recreate those lines on the other side. So here I'm going to choose my line tool. I'm going to immediately come over to my properties and make sure that number is set to 8. And then as I drag my line across, I'm going to hold shift. I will let go with my hand on the mouse and then let go of the keys. Because I'm shifting to a stroke of 2 for my next line, I need to deselect this line. So I'm going to grab my black arrow, click out and turn it off. Grab my line tool again, but this time I'm going to decrease this size to 2. I'm going to pick it up or drag it down, holding shift. Okay, we're going to continue to use the size 2 stroke. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw my new line straight across, go to Effect, go to Transform and Distort and Transform, and do zigzag. We're going to set the size to 0.25. We're going to do 25 ridges and make it a zigzag. Same stroke, size 2, hold shift, drag across, but this time under the zigzag, after I've made it the same size as before with the same ridges, I'm going to choose smooth. You've done this before, so hopefully that wasn't too difficult. We're going to move on, holding our space tool or space bar and dragging across to shapes. And we're going to start drawing the shapes in the right hand box, side boxes. I'm going to grab my rectangle with my rectangle tool. I'm going to choose a fill color. So I'm going to double click on the red line, and I'm going to make sure that my stroke is set on black, and come over here and increase my points of my stroke to 11. It's important to remember that you have 2 things that you can do with shapes. You can change the inside color, and you can also change the outside color. So we call this the fill, and we call this the stroke. The stroke, of course, can be changed in size, and the fill color can be changed as well. All right, we're going to grab, notice by the way, I have deselected this, so this is turned off now. We can now grab our polygon tool, and we can drag it out, and as we drag it out, we're going to go ahead and decrease the sides by hitting the arrow keys. And it's very hard to keep this pointed straight, so I'm going to hold my Option and my Shift key and drag from the center and keep it nice and pointed upward. Let's decrease our stroke size to 2, like the directions say to, and then we can go ahead with our selection tool and move. Okay, so we've been doing free size lines and shapes, but now we want to come up with a set size. So what we're going to do is we already have our tool on, our polygon tool. We have our stroke set at 2. We are going to either change the color of the fill or keep it the way it is, and we're going to click on the artboard. Here I'm going to change my radius. So my radius is going to be changed to 0.25, and I'm going to create 6 sides, which makes it a hexagon. So this is how you would create a shape with a set size. The stroke looks a little bit different than the sample. I think this was supposed to be 1, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We can keep it at 2. I'm going to hold Option, and notice my mouse changes. I'm going to drag across and add Shift to my key. Option, drag across, hold Shift. The Option key is making the copy. The Shift key is keeping it straight. And we want to have 6 of these. So I've got 5 so far. I need to do 1 more. Okay, we're ready to move on to Artboard 3. I'm going to make a separate video of this because this is a little bit more time consuming. So this will be part 2 of this video series.